Good afternoon, everyone, and happy Monday. It's time for Pocket with Joe. It's Monday, January 23rd. Small slate of games today, only 4 games on the card, but plenty of opportunities to make some freaking money, you guys. I'm excited for today's show. Mike, you're already jumping in here. Thanks for being here. Appreciate each and every one of you. See Benji and Taylor already here, you guys. You are absolutely the best. Neil, good day to you too. Let's have a good one today. Let's jump into the first game on the ice today. Shout out to Ben as well. Look at you guys just flying in here today. It's Monday. I love Mondays. I don't know about you guys, but definitely feels like a fresh, like mini New Year's, fresh start. Great opportunities to make some money. First game on the board tonight, the Florida Panthers taking on the New York Rangers. Now, the New York Rangers are at home and the favorite in this, coming in around minus 135 to minus 140. Again, shop those lines, get that best value. The Florida Panthers plus 120-ish here on the road. Now, Leon is expected in goal for them. He's got a 2.54 goals against average. And we have Igor Shesterkin expected here for the New York Rangers. He's got a 2.45. In this game, we saw the Rangers lose to the Bruins in their last one. That was a 3-1 loss for the New York Rangers. And we've seen the Florida Panthers playing some really solid games, winning their last 2. They got the win over the Minnesota Wild on Saturday. I didn't really expect that one to go that way. Now, they have a home game tomorrow versus the Pittsburgh Penguins. So you guys know I love looking at these schedules, looking ahead, seeing what teams have on deck. We also look at the Florida Panthers. They've lost their 6 as an underdog following a win. Now, when we look at the Rangers, they're coming in rested, haven't played since that game versus the Bruins this weekend. And now they have no one on deck tomorrow. They actually don't play until they face Toronto on Thursday. I think this is a prime opportunity for the New York Rangers here at home. We know how hard it is to play in the Garden. While their record isn't as strong as I would like to see their home record right now on the season, going 11-9-3-1, I do think it's still another hard place for teams to win in the Garden. The underdog has won the last 12 of the last 15 meetings between these two. But when we look at the Florida Panthers, how they have done, they've only won one of their last 4 meetings, or one of the last 5 meetings in New York. So the Rangers, Islanders rolls off my tongue. The Rangers have won 4 of those last 5 meetings, and the Panthers, they have been playing strong as of late, but I don't know if this is a game where we can see the Panthers get this win. My money is going to be on the home team in the New York Rangers in this one. Now, when we look at these two teams, they trend to that over when they play against each other, with 12 of the last 16 meetings going over in New York. We did get one push in there. But what I see in this one is, unless we see a really strong first period out of both of these teams, I think this one stays under the total of 6.5. Spoiler alert, I think we've got 4 games going under the totals today. I'm not loving these high totals on a Monday. I think we're going to see defenses really step up. And that's what we've really been seeing out of the New York Rangers. Their defense has been absolutely phenomenal. They have limited penalty minutes as well. They don't want to take these penalties against the Florida Panthers. We know they're already coming in shooting as many pucks on goal as they can. The second overall in the league, averaging 35.3 shots on goal. Now, Igor Shesterkin is a fantastic goalie. He should be able to stop these coming in. And what we see out of the defense of the New York Rangers, they're limiting opponents to 29.1 shots on goal and 2.63 goals per game. So I do expect this one to stay under that total of 6.5. I think it's a tad high. This could be one that panics us a little, though, with that total sitting there at 6 and those last couple of minutes being completely intense in this game as the Florida Panthers pull Leon out of goal, and we just pray for no empty netters. So I'm going to take the under 6.5 on the New York Rangers in this one. We are ready. Let's get to these games for sure, Rick. It's going to be a great game. Joe, we're going to get to it. Johnny Hockey back in the Saddle Dome tonight. David, I'm so glad you are liking the under in this one too. It's always such a hard place to take an under when you look at these teams like the Florida Panthers, who are so strong offensively, looking at their shots on goal. If Igor Shesterkin has a terrible night, This one is going over the total. I don't expect it. I'm going to look at the end of after we go over these to see if we've got any goalie props. I'd be looking at Igor Shesterkin over, depending on where this number comes out, because we know the Florida Panthers are getting these shots, but the Rangers are really good at limiting them. So it will be a battle to try to get them over, and that number just where it comes in. Thomas, I am with you on the Rangers. And Neil on the +1.5 and the under. I like it. I do think this is a tight one. I don't think this is going to be a blowout either way. So I just pray for no empty netters pushing us over that total. And the Rangers, yeah, looking to bounce back. 3-1 loss by the handed to them by the Boston Bruins here. Rick on the Rangers as well. And Thomas, I'm glad we're all on the same page here with the New York Rangers. Let's have a phenomenal night in the Garden tonight. Look at the next one here. And this is why Rangers and Islanders saying New York is just flowing off my tongue. I'll probably say it wrong in this one too. The New York Islanders facing the Toronto Maple Leafs. Now the Maple Leafs coming in as a large favorite at home after an embarrassing loss to the Montreal Canadiens. But you guys, Montreal beats the Toronto Maple Leafs and the Calgary Flames. It's like second to none. It should be second nature to you guys now. Let's take Montreal on that puck line +1.5, sprinkle on that money line. When Montreal faces Toronto or Calgary, we are seeing this happen over and over again. And I swear, if we just took Montreal +1.5 against these two teams, straight money. So that was on Saturday. Toronto coming in here really rested. The Rangers are on deck, but not till Wednesday for this team. They're going to be looking to get things right on their home ice tonight against an inconsistent, and I can't say the word inconsistent and stress it enough, Islanders team. This team drives me freaking crazy. You never know what you're going to get out of them on any given night. Now, they won back in November versus the Toronto Maple Leafs, 3-2. Low scoring, strong defensive game out of the New York Islanders. I can't trust them here. They've lost their last 8 as an underdog. And we're talking about inconsistencies all over the place. They're 1-4 in their last 5 meetings versus Toronto. So they have struggled versus Toronto, and they're 1-6 in their last 7 road games. So we're seeing those struggles hit on the road, especially as the season progresses here. Because it's kind of misleading when you look at their road record, 10-11, 1-2 on the road so far this season. But like I said, they have only won 1 of their last 7 road games. So this team is not somewhere I want to put my money on the road in this one. And when we look at the puck line for these teams, strong trends to take the Islanders on that puck line, going 14-10 on the road on that puck line, but I can't do it. I can't trust the Islanders here. Sorokin expected in goal, who is a solid goalie, but this team just not able to find the back of the net. I can't trust them to get the goals to keep up with the Toronto Maple Leafs. The Leafs, on the other hand, this team's so strong. They've got a stronger face-off coming into this one. They're averaging 3.36 goals per game and 31.7 shots on goal. I expect Toronto to completely dominate in this game. Couple of ways I like to take this. You guys know I love that first period puck line. So taking the Toronto Maple Leafs -0.5 in that first period is coming in at +125 to +135. Again, shop those lines. With this ability to make such good plus money, I'm going to sprinkle on this here. We know the Toronto Maple Leafs start off a lot stronger in that first period than the New York Islanders. When I ran some stats on how these teams do in the first period, we're seeing the Toronto Maple Leafs win around 48% of that first period of the first periods. And it doesn't sound that great. Like, we're not getting a 60% winner here in that first period. But when we look at the New York Islanders, they start their games off slow. Their first period win percentage is coming in closer to that 29%. This is a team who's inconsistent, not playing well on the road, facing a team that's often embarrassing loss to the Montreal Canadiens. And they're home with Toronto here. I got to take Toronto on that puck line in that first period for that beautiful plus money. I'm a little nervous they're giving us such good plus money here. So that's why I'm a little cautious. It will just be a sprinkle in this one. I think you can take them full game -1.5 as well. I know they're not strong on that puck line at home, going 8-16 at home this season, but I do expect this one to be a big win for them here. You can also look at their team total if you think this is going to be a higher scoring game. I don't expect this game to go over the total 6. I still do like the under. So my favorite bet would be The Leafs totally on that puck line, -1.5. And then that first period puck line, -0.5 at +125. Then the under 6, and then it goes against the under, but I do think the Leafs win this, like 4-0 shutout style game here. So I do like the Leafs as well. Their team total over 3.5. So those are all 4 ways that I'm going to take this one. It's going to be a really interesting game here out on the ice. Yeah, you could look at Austin Matthews for that goal for sure. You're taking the Leafs as well. I love it. Let's make some freaking money today. Leafs in regulation, Benji, I definitely think is a good one. I don't see this one going to OT. Getting them here at -140 in regulation is a pretty safe way to go. Toronto first period is plus money, and this is where my concern is at +125 on that puck line in that first period. Well, I do think they cover this, just giving us so much money. I'd feel a lot more confident in this if it was coming in at +115 on that puck line. Makes me a little nervous, but I think we still have it here. I just look at those percentages, and I don't see the Islanders starting this one off strong. This team is lacking confidence at the moment. And I can't trust them. They've got so many players out as well. The puck line on, okay, 2.5. Oh, I would stay off the puck line at 2.5 unless you are getting extreme value in that. Like I said, I see this being a 4-0 style game, 4-1 style game at the most. So staying under that total of 6. I just can't trust the Islanders to find the back of the net. Yeah, you guys, if you hit that like button, I really appreciate it. I was running some analytics on my channel, and it looks like 12,000 views in the last 28 days from non-subscribers, 5,000 from subscribers. I want to thank you guys all for all the views, all the subscriptions. Appreciate you guys. Hit that like button. It really does help me. So yeah, give me the under 6 in this one. I think the under is a really solid way to go. We look at the Islanders on the road trending to that under with 4 of their last 5 road games going under. The Leafs 4 of their last 5 home games going under the total. The Leafs coming in on 1 day's rest, trend to that under as well. And the Islanders, just because they're not scoring, trend to that under with 7 of their last 9 going under, and 4 of their last 5 games between each other going under the total with 1 push. So in the last 5 games, last 5 meetings between these two, all of them have been under except for 1 that pushed right on that number. We're getting a number of 6 in this one. So I don't think this is a 7-goal game unless Toronto scores all 7 goals basically on their own. I want to put it past Toronto, but I don't see it. You guys have to excuse me for a sec. I just need a sip of water. My throat is kind of sore today. Oh, excuse me. Okay, give me 1 second, you guys. Oh, you gotta love those tickles in the throat. 1 second, I'll be back. Okay, we are back. The Buffalo Sabres take on the Dallas Stars at 8:30 Eastern tonight. Now, the Buffalo Sabres coming in here as a dog on the road between +145 to +155, averagely sitting here at +150. Now, the Dallas Stars -175, really high price here for them. But Dallas, obviously the better team in this matchup. Now, this total is sitting solid at 6.5. I'm looking at Dallas to get this win in regulation here. In regulation, we're getting around -112 to -120. And I do like it. Now, they've won their last 2 games, the Dallas Stars, and they shut out their opponents in both. They got the shutout win over the Kings after, remember, they played the Sharks and they let that win go. And then they traveled to LA, took on the Kings, a team that they normally struggle against, and got a shutout win there. And then they got a win by shutout again over the Coyotes. Both of those games were 4-0 wins. Now, the last time these teams played last season, we saw Dallas get 4 goals in that. The Buffalo Sabres get 2. And now a lot of people really love the Sabres, and I love what we've been seeing out of them as well. But they've really struggled in Dallas. They've only won 1 of their last 9 meetings in Dallas and 2 of their last 7 meetings overall versus the Dallas Stars. Now, we're looking at a Dallas Stars team that should win the faceoff battle over the Buffalo Sabres. They got a really strong penalty kill as well. This defense has really been locking down opponents, and I'm expecting this defense to continue to roll strong in this one. Now, I was trying to look if there was any kind of look ahead because you guys know I love looking at the schedules and looking for those look ahead situations where we could bet against this home team here. But I can't see it. The Dallas Stars have the Carolina Hurricanes on deck, but it's not till Wednesday. We're Monday here. I don't think they're going to be looking that far ahead. If they had the Canes tomorrow, I would have a little bit of a question in this one. Now, the Buffalo Sabres have won their last two. It's been over the Ducks and the Islanders, you guys. Let's not get too excited for that. This is their first game on the road of a 4-game road trip as well. This team has the St. Louis Blues on deck. So while Dallas is still a strong opponent, the Blues are on deck tomorrow. These teams know they've got two really hard games on their plate. I just don't see them pulling this one off in Dallas. Now, if you like Dallas in that first period, they have won their last 4 first periods. I'm not sure I'm going to hit it here. I think the best way is just take Dallas in regulation. I also like that under 6.5 in this one as well. I do think this game is ruled by the defense of the Dallas Stars as well as the goaltending. We got Jake Ottinger expected in this one. Now, I know the Buffalo Sabres, and we all love to bet the Buffalo Sabres to get these goals. I just don't see it happening in this. Eric Comrie is expected for the Sabres in goal. He's got a 3.67 goals against average. I don't expect Dallas to play a game where they're scoring. I expect this one to be a sit-back defensive game. When we look at that game versus the Coyotes, we did see them get those 4 goals, but they didn't go over that total themselves. I'm expecting them to keep this one a tight defensive one. Oh, you guys are rolling with Buffalo. I'd love to get behind Buffalo in this one. And Sorokin, you're right, still a top goalie. That's why I love that one to go under that total. Joe taking the Leafs in regulation. Taylor taking the Leafs, it looks like, as well. Columbus and the Flames lost last 6. We're going to, let's talk about this one right now here. You already took Buffalo and Dallas for OT. Okay. That's an interesting one to take it. I don't know if I can get there with it, but because I'm taking Dallas in regulation, but it's not one of my premium bets. So I do wish you all the best. Okay, you're right. The Saddle Dome is going to be rocking tonight. So if you guys don't know, Johnny Hockey is coming back to Calgary for the first time. And I made a TikTok kind of making fun of the mixed emotions that Calgary fans are feeling today, because when Johnny Hockey decided to leave, it was a punch to the stomach. We all loved Johnny Hockey so much. A lot of us really took it hard when he decided to leave. It took it kind of as a personal attack, like he was leaving each of us individually. And it did really feel like that. So understand his reasoning, not only for family and friends, but for tax reasons. It made no sense to play up here in Calgary. I don't blame him at all. Now, Calgary did go down to Columbus and lost the last time with Johnny Hockey on the Columbus Blue Jackets. So earlier this season. Now, Johnny Hockey is coming here. Well, I do think there's going to be mixed emotions in the stands tonight. For Calgary Flames fans, I do still think Johnny Hockey gets that standing ovation. I really do think the people of Calgary, we love him more than hate him for leaving us. So it's going to be a hard one here for sure for everyone, and especially Johnny. I really hope the Calgary fans do not boo him. I will be really disappointed in the fans if he gets booed at this game. And there will be a couple, but I think the majority of the people will show their love for Johnny Hockey here. So looking at this matchup, Columbus has won the last 2 over the Calgary Flames, which doesn't sit good. Now, my problem with the Columbus Blue Jackets is Elvis is expected in goal tonight. We know Elvis can't stop anything, it seems like. He's got a 4.48 goals against average. And then Calgary, Vladar is confirmed. He's got a 2.74. I'm cautious, though. Calgary is such a large favorite here, minus 365. They're 0-6 in the puck line as a favorite following a win. We know they're coming in off that beautiful big win over the Tampa Bay Lightning. Those last 3 goals did come in that third period. Rasmus Andersson had a goal and 2 assists in that, getting 3 points. He had an absolutely fantastic game. Now, the Columbus Blue Jackets are coming in here over a win versus the San Jose Sharks. Again, not the most impressive, but they've got a really hard road trip on deck. They have the Oilers on deck Wednesday, and then Vancouver on Friday, and then the Kraken on Saturday. Columbus is going to want to start this road trip off as strong as possible. Their best chances of winning, we know the Vancouver Canucks have let go their head coach, Bruce. So going into Vancouver might not be as easy with new coaching. The Kraken are hard. Oilers are hard. Calgary has shown some inconsistencies. My poor Calgary team sitting 13-8-1-1 at home, not exactly where I would like it. Now, there's going to be emotions between these guys. It'll be interesting to see how they play. Johnny Hockey really had a good game when Calgary came down to Columbus. I expect this one to be tight. I'll be shocked if Columbus actually gets a win. But looking at them on the puck line, +1.5 at +125, I think is a solid way to take this. I think Columbus is able to keep this one tight with Calgary. I wouldn't be shocked if Calgary wins this one, but there's no value for me to take them in regulation or to take them on that puck line. I just don't trust Calgary enough on that puck line. Now, looking at this total, 6.5, I could see this one being a strong defensive game. Last time when Columbus won, it was because their defense really did step up. We know this team isn't a team that scores a lot of goals, but we have Elvis in for the Columbus Blue Jackets, which is my only fear with the total in this one. I can't get behind the under just because of Elvis, but I can't get over in this game because I don't expect it to go over. So I'm going to stay off this total here in this one, but I am going to take Columbus +1.5 on the puck line at +125. I do think they can do enough to keep this one tight. This is my least confident game of all of them. You guys know I have mixed emotions here with my Calgary Flames. I do think they are the stronger team on the ice. They're getting the more shots on goal. They're limiting opponents' ability to get these shots on goal. But I think this building is going to be absolutely insane tonight. I think it will be one of those games where, with Columbus winning those last two, I just don't have confidence in Calgary. Something is not completely right in Calgary at the moment. I don't know what is happening with this team. I can't put my money on them, even though I do lean towards them getting the win here. But again, I'm not finding value. So that's where I'm going with that one. Sorry, I wish I could give you a better explanation of this game. Yeah, Columbus +1.5. It just seems like the best way to take this tonight. I really do think this is a 1-goal game. And again, I wouldn't be shocked if the Columbus Blue Jackets pull it off. So I think Calgary, almost when they come out with too much emotion, makes mistakes. And that is the problem. And they are going to be emotional because not only the fans really felt like they were punched in the gut, so did this team, to be honest with you guys, hearing the rumors of how the team really felt in this. But the last time they went down to Columbus, I am sure they kind of mended a little bit of bridges with Johnny Hockey, got kind of some of their aggression out in that one. I do think this is going to be a hard-hitting defensive game, though. So I lean on that under. My problem is Elvis. So we'll talk. We could talk about Elvis all night and how he lets too many goals in. But let's recap this. Yeah, I wouldn't be against. Someone just said, what about all 4 matches under the total tonight? I don't mind that at all. I really do think we've got lower scoring games. Last time I looked at the slate, it was on a Monday that I liked all lower scoring games. I think we only had 3. All 3 of them went under, or it was a Monday or Friday. It was a really weird slate. I do see all 4 of these games with the quite possibility of staying under that total. The only one, and the main one I have in question in that, is the Calgary Flames game because of Elvis. If it was anyone else in goal, and we know Elvis has been good in some situations, I just can't trust him enough here because we know Calgary can explode offensively. We know they're getting those shots on goal. So I can't get behind that, but take the other 3 and parlay those 3 under the total. Even maybe buy them up to that total of 7 by all 3, except for Calgary under 7. You're still going to make some beautiful money. So let's do a recap. Let's parlay these games. The Florida Panthers and the New York Rangers. For the parlay, give me the Rangers here on the money line. It's coming in between -135 and -145. So shop those lines. Again, you guys, I think the Rangers off of this rest will have a strong game versus the Florida Panthers. Now, I'm not discrediting the Panthers. We know they have been playing some good hockey. I think this is the Rangers one to win at home in the Garden tonight. And for that total, again, I like the under 6.5. These teams trend solid to the over when they meet up against each other, but I'm looking for the defense of the Rangers to control this game. So parlay, give me the Rangers here on the money line. The New York Islanders and the Toronto Maple Leafs love this game. Again, I think this is a lower scoring one. I can't trust the Islanders to score. So give me the under 6 in this matchup. I also love the Toronto Maple Leafs here on that puck line, -1.5 at +110. I think they have every opportunity to win this by 2 goals. The Leafs team total over 3.5. I do think this is a 4-goal game by the Toronto Maple Leafs. They are off that loss to the Montreal Canadiens, who limited their ability to find these goals. I think they open back up in this one. I love Toronto on that puck line in that first period. And -0.5 on that puck line at +125 to +130 screams absolute value here. So for the parlay, I'm going to put the Islanders and the Leafs under 6. You guys know I hate taking unders. Today just screams unders to me. You could take Toronto, put them in regulation in that parlay. Definitely another really solid way to go because I do think they get this win. It actually might be a safer way to go with this parlay, taking Toronto in regulation, because I don't see this one going to overtime. You're going to get pretty good odds with that. The Buffalo Sabres and the Dallas Stars here. You guys, I'm going to take Dallas in regulation. I really do think this is one they get a nice win here. Actually, just give me them on the money line for the parlay. In regulation, I think is a really solid way to bet this game. I think they come out and they play a really tight defensive game. We know they got shutout wins in their last 2 games. I expect them to keep rolling with that defensive mentality that we've been seeing out of them, really limiting their opponents and still finding the back of the net themselves. Again, I lean to the under in this one because I really do think the Buffalo Sabres are going to struggle to score in this game versus the Dallas Stars. Then recap of the Columbus Blue Jackets and the Calgary Flames. Again, emotional game here in Calgary tonight. It's going to be great to see Johnny Hockey back in the Saddle Dome. Now, I think this game is tighter than this line represents. We know Calgary really hasn't been dominating on that puck line. They have lost their last 6 on the puck line following a win. So they're coming into this with that win over the Tampa Bay Lightning. They put out a lot of energy in that game as well. And I know they've had some rest between it, but I do think this is one where we see a lower scoring battle on our hands. So give me the under 6.5. As long as Elvis can do his part, I think it hits. I think the best bet, though, is because I do like this under, because I do like defensive play in this game, is to take the Columbus Blue Jackets +1.5 on that puck line at +125. I think this absolutely screams value, the best value we can get of the game. I'm going to leave it out of the parlay, though, you guys, because this is the biggest game with the biggest question marks. For my best bets, I would put the Columbus Blue Jackets +1.5 on that puck line. Again, we're going to need Elvis to play a strong game. If he doesn't play a strong game, we're screwed in this one because we know Calgary can score. My second favorite of this, of my best bets, would be the New York Rangers here on the money line at -135 to -145. Again, shop those lines, get the best value. So best bets, I got to take Columbus Blue Jackets +1.5 as one of my best bets. Remember, Oilers, Vancouver, and then Kraken on deck for this team. They need to start this road trip strong. I think Johnny Hockey gets one in on his old team tonight. I think they made the right move, though, Calgary, starting Vladar and not Markstrom. Johnny Hockey really knows how to target Markstrom. So I think that was a nice strategic move by Sutter in this one. So the Columbus Blue Jackets +1.5 and the New York Rangers -140 on that money line is about the average you're going to get. I do love Toronto on that puck line, -0.5 at that first period at +125, +130. It's so much value here. I'm going to sprinkle on that. Again, I kind of question why the books are giving me such value, which is always a scary thing. So quick recap of that parlay: Rangers on the money line, Islanders and Leafs under 6, Dallas in regulation. I wouldn't hate if you change the Islanders and the Leafs under 6 out for the Toronto Maple Leafs in regulation. So the Rangers on the money line, Toronto in regulation, and Dallas on the money line would be another way to take that 3-leg parlay, with the best bets being Columbus plus 1.5 and the New York Rangers on the money line. I know, Brian, we can't trust the Calgary Flames. I love that, Joe. Look at those. All 4 of those matches to go under plus 1286. Again, I'm cautious about the Calgary game. I think the rest of them go under. I think we got defensive battles on the ice tonight. So you guys, I hope you win. We can all blame Trudeau and his taxes. Oh, I can't believe even grocery shopping, you guys. I went and bought 2 kebabs yesterday, like chicken kebabs from the butcher. They were $8 each, 16 Canadian for 2 chicken kebabs. Absolutely crazy. I was making like opa. You guys know opa? Like a pita bread with chicken and lettuce and vegetables. It was I couldn't believe $18 for 2. Anyway, that is my complaints on the taxes and the prices of everything going up through the roof. I appreciate each and every one of you for being here on Pocket with Joe. Hit that like, hit that subscribe button, you guys. Do me that favor. And let's make some freaking money so we all can go buy groceries this week. Have a good one. Keep smiling. I'll talk to you tomorrow at 3:30 Eastern. Bye, guys.